So after Christine and Erica's video on Sunday about leaving the 9 to 5 and all of their encouraging messages, I really feel compelled to come to you guys this week with one of the most important things that I have been learning / teaching myself since I quit the 9 to 5 2 years ago, and that is juggling multiple goals and manifesting multiple things at once. First, it's important to know that not everything is going to work on your timeline, right? So it's important to know when to just jot your goals down, figure out a plan, not necessarily apply timelines to it, but to just leave it to spirit to kind of push you in the right direction until a clear timeline comes about. Don't always get yourself stuck on when something is going to happen, because that might be revealed to you along the way. So sometimes it's important to just understand what your goals are, create some milestones, and then start to work towards them so you can understand how much time this is really going to take. One of the things that has been most important to me is to ease up on pressuring myself to finish something quickly, because honestly, I'm not really conditioned in a way that is supportive to taking your time to figure things out. Teachers don't necessarily give you all the time in the world to learn a new concept. You learn it and then you're tested and you either pass or you fail and you move on, right? What if you needed more time? Doesn't matter. We have to move on to a different subject. So that's kind of the conditioning, that happens at work, that happens maybe even at home where, you don't get enough time to really explore what you need to do. People are just rushing you. That has been my personal experience. So I am personally not equipped to set realistic timelines for myself, and I end up super overwhelmed, super stressed out with things that I really don't need to be, and in ways that I really could have prevented had I been more gentle with myself. So first lesson that I definitely want to emphasize is be open with your timelines. Understand when it's time to be strict and to force yourself to meet a certain deadline because you're lazy or you procrastinate. And it's also important to know when to leave that timeline to spirit, and to know that the timeline will be revealed to you when it's important for you to know it. But maybe right now it's important for you to just take some steps and not worry about timing so much. So another thing that I ran into a lot was feeling like I wasn't doing enough. So if you are, consistently planning things out and allowing yourself to see what success looks like, then maybe you won't be so hard on yourself when you are doing tiny little things that are maybe still important, but don't feel like you're doing a whole lot of work. There may be parts of your journey where you need to be doing some more planning, and there may be parts of your journey where you need to be more active and actually put physical work or action into completing your goals. So know when these times are, be aware of when you maybe need to take a step back and do some thinking, do some planning, or maybe even do some waiting for things to align better. Maybe you can focus on another goal at that point. Or is it time for you to actually take action, be more involved, taking charge and really moving things along? Sometimes it's important to take a day off and let spirit kind of fill in that day with some inspiration, some love, some creativity, thinking about things from a different perspective. Just be open. It's really important when you're juggling multiple goals to be able to keep track of them. This seems like a pretty obvious one. Once you start writing things out, start planning backwards, maybe you have a 5-year goal of starting your own magazine, or you have, a 3-year goal of buying your first home. Work backwards, you'll see that you can start today on all of those things. Whatever goals you have, you can start today planning them out and figuring out what your first step really needs to be and when that should be. My favorite way of keeping track of my goals for the year, for the week, for the month, for whatever, for the day especially, is through bullet journaling. And this is something that I mentioned in my last video, and I could probably do a separate video introducing you guys to bullet journaling if that's something you're unaware of or want to get into. But it's been very valuable for me because it allows me to create the kind of journal spreads or planning spreads or goal spreads that I need throughout the year in order to get to where I need to go. One of the pages in my bullet journal is the 2019 focus areas, and I have it broken out into 6 different sections where I put bullet points towards these 6 different major goals that I have for 2019. So have a sit down, get really comfortable, do it with the best energy possible, do it when you're feeling good, but really sit down and figure out what are your main focuses for 2019 in different areas. Mentally, physically, spiritual, and emotionally. How do you want to grow? In what ways do you want to grow? What kind of positive change do you want to welcome into your life? These are the things that I consider when I'm figuring out what my goals are for the year. So that's what you can consider when you're figuring out what yours are, and then you take a step backwards or take a few steps back and figure out how you can work towards these goals every quarter, every month, every week, and then on a daily basis. So there may be some days where you may have to take a day off and take some rest to replenish your energy, to make sure that you are balanced, that you are manifesting from a good energy. Writing down my goals in my bullet journal also gives me a moment to pause and celebrate tiny little successes. So your success is going to need to be defined by your goals, and you can do that on a daily basis. When I'm feeling super overwhelmed by all of the different things I'm trying to work towards and I feel like I don't know where to start today, I don't know what to do, then the first question that I ask myself is, what is my success for today? How do I define success today? Figure out what I need based on how I'm feeling. If I need to replenish my energy first before I get to work, it's important to check in with your energy and figure out how you're going to define your success, either for the month or for the week or for the day, whichever works for you. And you can do all of these things. So actually, when I go to bullet journal for the week, I set goals for the month too. So when I'm bullet journaling, I set my goals for the month, and then when I set up for the week, I go over my monthly goals and then figure out which one of those I can pull into this week and really work towards. And then when I set up my daily list of goals, then I can pull from my monthly list and my weekly list and see what makes sense for me to work on today so that I can feel like I'm actually moving forward. So I know that's a lot, but when you are quitting the 9-to-5 and you are your own boss and you are trying to create balance and stability in your life, then it's really important to know what your goals are. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. That's all I have on juggling multiple goals. It can be something that is very stressful, and it's probably the major or main stress of being an entrepreneur, is figuring out how to align your goals, how to organize them so that you can actually work towards them on a regular basis, right? So hopefully you got something from this video. Please share your stories and successes of goal setting and what you use to set your goals below. I would love to learn more, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.